with the collaboration of Alejandro Leal, the biology teacher.
He will answer some questions about the biodiversity.
Well, Professor, what do you think about the loss of biodiversity?
Well, the biodiversity is very, very important in our planet because they are the quality of living species that we have. The loss of them is something that will damage not only us, it will damage the whole planet. And we do not realize this until the damage is already done. The quantity of species that are here are decreasing year after year. The loss of biodiversity can be related to many things. One of them is hunting, but natural causes, but the main problem is the human ambition. I mean, if we need paper, we cut down trees, and when we cut down trees, we are destroying forests. So instead of making plans and caring for our future, we are destroying it. Someone said one time, the loss of biodiversity is a mistake that our children will not forgive us.
Yeah, well, what species do you think that are the worst losses that we are suffering?
Well, there's a lot of them. For example, the famous dodo bird. It's been very famous in a lot of cartoons. The dodo bird was a bird that was so big that it couldn't fly. And because of this, the human wanted to catch it because it couldn't defend itself. There have been another birds like the quetzal and another more species that have suffered mainly by the actions of humans.
Well, Professor, thanks for your attention and your answers.
Oh no, we will show a video that we recorded at La Casa de los Loros, where we show lots of birds that we actually have in Mexico.
Hello everybody, we are the Team 4 and here we are in the Casa de los Loros. While the actual world was requiring some conveniences, the technology was running resources provided by the nature. While men were cutting down trees, the ecosystem was being destroyed. This was making factories expand while the smoke was spreading to the animals. Mexico is a country with a lot of biodiversity, but through the years, men had abused of the nature for their own comfort. This affected the birds and their ecosystem.
The birds were living in a safe ecosystem when men destroyed it. While men were trading exotic birds, the number of them reduced, and they didn't have many birds left to train.
Mexico is rich in fauna diversity. Its forests, mountains and seas are the nest of hundreds of beautiful species, which physical characteristics and skills turn them unique. One of them is the bird. Some of them are possible to admire with certain proximity, while others live in remote places, where they find the necessary elements to live.
The most endangered birds are important species of some exotic birds, and they are in danger for being sold illegally like pets. These lists include variety of parrots and makers, inclined to be sold on the black market, and to include a new endangered species. These pizarros are distributed exclusively across 26 of 32 species of the Republic. 6 species are endemic to Mexico. It means that they just live inside of country.
Fox were breeding a lot. The species were increasing. When men captured them, this caused that they started to decrease their breeding and their number.
The capture of parrots is an activity realized in Mexico. The indigenous people used it like food, like pets, and for their colorful feathers, they were used as decoration for dresses or with artistic purposes in the famous feathers arts.
The indigenous people were collecting dust of feathers when the Aztec Empire of the conquered states acquired a certain quantity and gave them as a payment. The Eastern Stone described that Tactepec was the principal base of traders in the part of South. In each country paid 24,000 packs of parrot feathers to the Aztecs.
The illegal trafficking of parakeets and macaws is sustained thanks to the demand of consumers. If the demand for these wild species is reduced, then it will reduce the supply and thus the illegal catch. Unfortunately, the majority of Mexicans do not know the species of parakeets and macaws that live in our country, as they don't know the threats they face. They know that they are still part of the chain of illegal traffic to buy wild parrots, in fact, are the last link in the chain. It has initiated a major campaign for the people to know the Mexican species of parrots, their problems.
Since more than 50 years ago, people have been trying to stop the illegal catching of parakeets in Mexico through different laws to guarantee its sustainable use. However, it hasn't worked, and over the years, more and more species have been overexploited, illegal and legally, taking them to the most critical states of conservation. The majority of parakeets and wild macaws that are sold actually come from illegal trafficking.
It has been documented that every year more than 98,000 of parakeets are captured illegally. While people were transporting the parakeets, they die before they reach a consumer because of the process they went through. People were thinking to sell lots of birds when around 60,000 of parakeets die in the process. It means that 8 out of 10 parakeets die in the process of capture, transportation, distribution, and selling. Otherwise, it means that for every parakeet bought from a consumer, 4 parakeets die in the process, since the capture until the selling.
What is happening in Mexico is so sad, because every time there are more lost species, and the reason of that are their beautiful plumage, sometimes for the meat and others just to use them like pets. And all this makes us think that we are doing the things in a wrong way. We must have laws for the prohibition of hunting them every time more ecological companies help the environment. The problem is, it is too late to make a big change.
With all the activities we made all the way through to get this final project, we got the opportunity to research a lot of things, and because of that, we have a lot of knowledge right now about the big number of animals in Mexico that are in danger.
Learned a lot about those animals, especially the bird of our country. We got a lot of information about that and we added in our videos.
There is a lot of bird species in danger here in Mexico. This is why we should take care of our environment. Even though there is a lot of nature, these birds are still in danger.
If we continue hunting birds without an important reason, we will finish many other species. We have to stop this and look ahead for their future, because they can't break out of the human abuse.